Are you depressed? Have nothing going for you in your life? Yeah, probably. You watch anime. Depression cripples approximately 100% of anime viewers, but knowing this, Honda decided to make a relatable anime for us all. To sell scooters. The show is about a girl being saved from the clutches of depression. How? Well, by her buying a Honda, of course. So this begs the question, is Honda the true cure to depression? Could it be that low APR financing and new hybrid models are the true key to brightening up your world? Well, let's find out. This video will be my full review / recommendation of Honda's 2021 anime Super Cub, which is surprisingly pretty good. So with that brief context out of the way, let's get right into it. A lot of people come to anime looking for larger-than-life narratives with lasers and Saiyans and stuff, and while I enjoy these series as much as the next guy, oftentimes the more low-key stuff flies gently under the radar despite being just as interesting. Super Cub is a show likely many of you haven't heard of, and if you have, you probably just know it as that one Honda advertisement anime, but it goes much deeper than that. Well, okay. It goes marginally deeper than that. The story follows the daily life of Koguma, a girl with no friends, no family, no skills, no talents, no goals, no money, and no girlfriend. Jokes aside though, Honda executives likely found it to be very important that she be a humble character with pretty much nothing going on in her life. She is highly socially awkward, but in a very convincing way, and her stunted micro-expressions during social interactions account for the majority of her characterization early on. The series is largely devoid of a soundtrack, opting instead to put absolutely tremendous detail into perfecting the ambient noises of every single scene, allowing you to soak in and be immersed by the environment of Koguma. Maybe it's because of this that she comes off as so emotionally readable and so relatable. I feel like I immediately can understand her exact thought process in every scene based on the environment and her gentle reactions alone. Koguma's life starts off as the most uneventful thing ever. She wakes up, makes her crappy breakfast, goes to school, goes home, sleeps, and repeats the whole process several times over during each of the first few episodes, which are only occasionally broken up by painfully awkward interactions with her classmates and teachers. The show's color palette is bleak, and there is a melancholy to many of these earlier scenes, as you see a girl's life pretty much disappearing before her eyes. There are no huge emotional moments of her breaking down or anything dramatic like that. Her life is just somewhat dreary. Stuck in a cycle. After purchasing a Honda motorcycle, more specifically a Super Cub, Koguma's life starts to turn around, slowly washing away her depression. As she rides it, the colors of the world around her literally light up, and she's able to feel free for the first time. She makes her first friend, secures her first job, and cracks her first real smile in a long time, all because of this silly little scooter. And once the floodgates are open, her development explodes out at a realistic and subtle pace. The cyclical nature of this anime never really goes away, and it remains fairly oriented around scenery over dialogue. But it starts to get much less awkward, and the previous underlying sense of melancholy is replaced by one of serenity. Her lack of identity is reframed as a presence of freedom, which with her Honda Super Cub, she feels enabled to explore. By the end of the series, Koguma's personality has shifted dramatically as she feels comfortable enough to tease her friends and even acts as something of a role model to a younger character. This change happens very gradually, but by episode 12, she's night and day different from how she started. It doesn't feel like she's necessarily changed though, rather just become who she was meant to be, as opposed to some sort of shell forged by the expectations of those around her. It's not like this show takes place in Peaches and Creamville, though. Koguma still goes home alone each night and struggles to come out of her shell with anybody other than her best friend for a while. Her life is not that different from how it started if you look at it from an objective standpoint, as the only real differences at first are that she has a job and rides a motorbike to school instead of a normal bike. But it's a realistic shift. I know from personal experience the pain of not having any interests or hobbies. the gloomy nights alone just waiting to fall asleep to stave off boredom. But after finding just one point of interest, everything starts to look a bit different. You don't have to gain superpowers or save the world or find your true love to become happy. You just need to make the small change of seeing the world in a different light. Oftentimes, it takes the introduction of something new in your life to do this, and that new thing might just be something silly and mundane to others, but it will mean so much to you. Koguma's goofy little mundane catalyst for self-actualization was her Honda Super Cub. Mine, for example, was actually this YouTube channel. My life is similar to how it was when I started. I live in the same place, I have the same problems and hang-ups, and I still can't get
no girlfriend.
But while the ambience of the world is largely the same, it sounds so different to me now. I guess it's not all totally the same, though. In fact, I can think of one major thing which I can really credit for turning my life around. I got a Honda. Just kidding, that's my mom's car. It's Honda here. Nissan gang for life. What do you Honda drivers know about the rolly windows, huh? Nothing. What car do y'all drive? Put it in the comments and subscribe for more weird anime vids. And an enormous thank you to my lovely patrons, Karta, Hermit's Nook, Artemis Locke, Some Goon, Trey, Funky Boy Haas, and B. Have a great day, everyone, and remember, it's innovation that excites.